Welcome everyone to our first year Friday. My name is Grace Day. I don't know if you can see me, but I am the coordinator of academic programs here in the Office of Academic and Advising Services. A lot of you probably met Pablo when you came for your first year for Fair Beginnings, and I am on the other side of that. So what we're going to do every other week, we will offer these sessions for you all that we talk about different topics that relate to your first year experience. And I hope it'll be really helpful for you. And we have some things that we know that you're going to face and give you some tips and help you kind of learn the Mercer way to do a lot of things. This year, our Zoom meetings these are going to be facilitated via Zoom, and to provide security, just as a reminder, it's not going to be the same Zoom link for every single session. We're going to send a unique Zoom link to instructors and PAs. So make sure you check with your PAs and your instructor to get the most recent Zoom link for First Year Friday. Okay. So today we're going to kick it off with academic tips and tricks for your first year. So, okay. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay, cool. So some quick reminders is now that you're here at Mercer, it's time to start participating in Spirit Fridays. So every Friday, we encourage you to wear all black and white, not black and white, black and orange, so sorry, and wear your Mercer gear, check it out. Enjoy it, be a bear, go Bears. Also, make sure you wear your mask. And be sure to get your textbooks for your classes if you haven't already. You should be in the second week of classes, so your schedule should be solidified by now. The add drop period has passed, so at this point, if you have any questions about your schedule, we won't be able to make some major changes, but come let me know and we'll see if we need to make anything happen. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between high school and college. And I know you all are coming from kind of a stranger semester than what you had at the end of your senior year or this past academic year with COVID-19 pushing us all online. So to some of you, college is going to look very different from high school, and you may want some extra tips. You're more independent now. You now live away from your parents, most of you. If you're commuting, you now have way more freedom on a college campus than you did before. You are now put in charge of your financial situation. You're put in charge of your academic records. So there's a law called FERPA that protects your academic records. So since you have become a student at Mercer, that puts you in charge of your academic career. That includes all of your academic records, your attendance, your grades, your financial aid status. So we can only talk to you all now. We can't talk to mom and dad unless you sign the FERPA release form on your My Mercer portal. You are now in charge. And we talk to you, and that is how we treat this situation. So you have some more independence and things are a little bit different. And so I've got some tips and a quick couple of things to go over with you. And I have also talked to some faculty members and gotten their perspectives as well. So I'm hoping this will be helpful for you. The first thing is you are going to learn to communicate with your teachers. But before I even say that, they're not teachers. You're learning to communicate with professors now. So in a traditional college setting, I'll tell you this because no one else will tell you this, you don't address faculty members by their gender pronouns or by their marital status. You address them by their education or their first name if they tell you to do so. So when you first meet a professor, you can always call them doctor, or professor is a good backup if you don't know if someone has their PhD or not. communicating with professors shows it's a sign of respect. And if you talk to professors respectfully on the first time, they'll be more likely to help you, and they'll be more likely to share their insights with you. So just because your professor is a woman, she is not a miss, she is not a Mrs. She could be a doctor, or she could be instructor or professor so-and-so. Now that we are adults, asking for extra credit for missed assignments is a big no-no. It's okay, I think, to ask for some extra credit or extra work if you're looking to kind of bump up your grade due to maybe some lower grades than you had anticipated. But asking because you missed a big assignment, that's on you. Your goal is to submit all of your assignments on time and accept the grades that you get for them and work hard on them. Just because you chose to not follow these directions, faculty members are not required to give you that extra boost. They're not going to have to handhold anymore. Like I said, this doesn't go for everyone. Sometimes you'll want to talk to them and kind of get their perspective on things and ask. And if a faculty member always says ask, you can always talk to them and attend office hours. The third one is the biggest one. This is attending class. Butt in seat is what I like to call it. We also know that academic attendance is the number one indicator that you are going to succeed in a class. It's not necessarily your preparedness. It's not necessarily your technology. It is just if you show up. And what we know is that when you're in class, if you're there and you're paying attention and you make an effort to be in the class, you will learn more. You will absorb, osmosis isn't a thing, but you'll absorb the material that your professor is given. So if you miss class for a good reason, because sometimes you should, especially we'll talk about some other options in a second here. Sometimes when you're sick, you need to miss class. And sometimes you have family gatherings that you need to go to. So maybe your brother is getting married or your sister's getting married, or you have a big family event that you cannot miss. That's okay. Just keep those to a minimum and always communicate with your faculty members if you're going to miss class, because now that you're an adult, you get to advocate for yourself. And if you miss too many classes, you miss out on this experience that you're paying a lot of money to get. Now, also, we need you to monitor your well-being. So I make this a half step. What this means is, especially currently with the ability to work within COVID, you're going to be monitoring your well-being. You need to wear a mask. I have mine here. Make sure you wear your mask. Wear it properly over your nose and your mouth. Don't Captain Ahab it or wear it up here. Wear it on your face. And you need to take care of yourself. Don't spread germs to other people in the classroom at some point. You could do more harm than good. If you're not feeling well, reach out to your faculty members. If you aren't skipping class regularly and you get sick, faculty members are going to understand and they're going to want to work with you. Don't, reach out to them via email. You can call them if they have given you their number, and just kind of explain the situation, and they're more likely to work with you that way. You also need to avoid some academic dishonesty. So with this virtual learning opportunity comes a little bit more responsibility for you to make sure you are following our honor code. So that includes following all of the rules and regulations and policies that we have in place in regards to academic integrity. So plagiarism or using uncited materials in your work is not allowed. Any additional electronics or resource aids during tests and assignments that are not permitted, avoid those because you will get caught. And then you will get sent to our honor council, and you'll have to go through a hearing, and you could potentially, depending on the sanction, you could fail that class, and you could get kicked out of certain programs in some case. So don't try. These people have PhDs, they have terminal degrees. Don't try to get around them. They're smarter than they look. You also want to learn to send appropriate emails. Part of being an adult is learning to communicate professionally. And now that you are in the driver's seat of your academic career, your goal is to now communicate correctly with those who are in power, because you're setting the tone for how you would like for them to talk to you. It is not safe to assume that you can just send a one-word email without a greeting. You always need to have a closing. You need to use the proper sentences, and grammar rules do apply. No one's expecting things to be perfect, but sign things correctly. It's not a text message conversation. Here's an example, actually. Got an example for you. This is an example of an improper email that was sent a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago. And this was an actual email that was sent to one of my colleagues. So, and you all can read, but here's the thing, is that the student brings up some very valid points. So this is the first 4 days due to some unexpected problems with work and family. Sometimes you're going to need to work, and sometimes you're going to need to miss class because of things with your family. That's totally understandable, but the way that the student has worded it makes it seem like it's not as important, and that the class is not as interesting to them or whatever. They're like, please send me the syllabus and the handouts and all important info. Well, the faculty members are going to think that all of the info is important, otherwise they would not talk to you. They also are not going to send you all the syllabus and handouts. You can go and look for that with your classmates. You can check your Canvas courses. You can use all of your resources in that way. And also, asking if you need the book is another big no-no. A faculty member will not be assigning things for their health. So if they say you need the book, you need the book. So the next one is going to be utilizing your course syllabi. So think about a syllabus as a contract between you and your faculty member. So the faculty member has told you, here's what I expect you to learn. Those are the learning outcomes. And here is the calendar for what we're going to talk about week by week, including deadlines and assignments that you will have to fill out. So not only are they held to that, they're going to do that, you are also held to the expectations of the course. So make sure you read through it. Read through what their attendance policy looks like. Read through what their COVID policy looks like. Read through what their assignments are looking like and what kind of weight and what their grading scale looks like. Write down when your assignments are due. Keep track of those deadlines and then execute them. 9 times out of 10, faculty members will complain because they will give you this syllabus and then you'll ask them questions that are in the syllabus. So before you ask, and we're not going to discourage you from asking questions because that's important. However, going to encourage you to use your resources. You're smart enough to get into Mercer, so you're smart enough to read and check some things. You're also going to want to make sure you seek a tutor and additional academic support. We on this campus have many resources for you to use. We have our academic Resource Center, who will be presenting at the next First Year Friday. that have tutoring and SI session options and study skill tutoring in particular. That's always a big one that I plug, because a lot of times it's not necessarily the content itself, it's the way that you study and take in the content. Because the way that you learned in high school and through your K-12, it's going to look different than the way that you learn in college. So sometimes you might want to just reach out and get a little bit of extra help and get better. No one is perfect, so it's always good to check out. If you're having issues with technology, reach out to IT. If you can't get into Zoom to attend a class, that's a concern. So reach out to the resources that we have on campus and get help. And if you need help making a plan for time management, or maybe you're struggling with other things that are impeding your academic abilities, reach out to our office, Academic and Advising Services, or reach out to the Office of Student Success. Using your resources is so important because you pay money to come here. We offer these services for you. So we ask that you use them. So. You're also going to want to keep track of your progress, because that'll kind of help you understand if you're on track. In high school, you got report cards every couple of weeks. In college, you don't really get that. So you will get a progress report at the 4 and 6 week mark of the semester from all of your faculty members through the Starfish portal. But it's kind of up to you to keep track of your grades and how you're progressing in a class. So keep a running tally of, or a running list of all of your grades in a class so that you can compare it to the grading scale. Keep track of your attendance and see when you're missing classes, so that if you, so that you don't have to ask your faculty member what your grade is. If you're paying attention, you won't need to ask what your grade is every class. Being in class on time and staying in class and paying attention, handing in your assignments on time, and using your resources are great indicators that you are going to be successful in that course. So keep track of your own personal progress. When you're in class, please refrain from electronics and social media unless you're taking notes. You want to be paying attention. And faculty members sometimes have a harder time with technology in general, so don't abuse their trust. Also, if you're looking at your crotch during class, you're doing one of two things, and I hope you're on your phone. So let's just avoid all of that. I don't know. So you're going to be maintaining your family relationships as well. And that includes setting boundaries with your friends who may be attending other schools. So you're going to be taking ownership of your college experience. And this includes waking yourself up, getting to class, but it also means being honest with your family and friends. So when you talk on the phone and maybe things are kind of hard, share the things that were hard with your day, as well as the things that were great. You don't have to give a highlight reel. It's okay to call your parents. It's okay to call your friends. You want to be able to maintain those relationships back home, because you're going to make a lot of great connections while you're here at Mercer, and you're going to want to reach out to people and faculty members. But you want to maintain your roots back home, because you don't want to lose sight of all of that. So that was most of our first year Friday today. I'm gonna quickly show you guys the schedule for the rest of the semester. We have in 2 weeks, so if you pay attention, first year Fridays are gonna happen every 2 weeks. So they are not every week. So we'll see you in 2 weeks on September 11th, where we will talk about academic success the first year and beyond. On September 25th, we'll have a mock honor council hearing. When we talked about academic dishonesty, I know that there's a lot of questions surrounding what happens if I do break a policy in academic integrity and I get sent to an honor council. So I've been working with the honor council. So we're going to have You're going to see kind of what the process looks like, and you're going to have an opportunity to ask some questions. So that's going to be really awesome. Make sure you tune in for that. We're also going to have a mock judicial council hearing where we will oversee the other side. So honor council is particularly academic integrity cases. Judicial council is going to deal with the personal and the social policy issues. Academic plan registration is going to happen in October. We're going to talk about the registration process. I'll teach you how to register for classes online. It looks a little different at Mercer than it does anywhere else, and you will be in charge of registering yourself for classes. So we want to make sure you feel comfortable doing so before you do go register. On November 6th, we will be hosting Majors in Minutes, and then we'll be talking about declaring your major and preparing for finals towards the end of November. So I wanted to open it up to you and see if you all had any questions for me. You can shoot me a message in the chat. Make sure you keep in contact with your peer advisor and your first year advisor. They are resources for you to use. They'll also host our PA. They'll have the links to our first year Fridays. So I have a question. How do we declare a major if we are past 30 credits due to dual enrollment? Great question. So your first 2 semesters, you are required to be advised by your first year academic advisor, but you'll want to declare your major at the end of your spring semester. And that you can fill out, you will fill out a form on My Mercer, but we'll walk through that towards the end of November. Will all first year Fridays be around 10 a.m.? Yes, all first year Fridays will be at 10 a.m. We've blocked off 10 to 10:45. Some, due to their nature, will only take 30 minutes. Credits over the summer. Great question. Summer classes are very valuable, and sometimes you might want to knock out a couple of gen eds or a couple of major requirements over the summer. You can contact our office. You can contact me. Shoot me an email. My email is day_gc@mercer.edu. And we'll talk to you about credits over the summer. We can talk to you about your academic plan and how that fits in with that, as well as kind of some resources for summer classes. Okay. I have a question about academic advisors. So you will not have the same academic advisor for all 4 years. So your academic advisor currently is your UNV instructor. So they will be your academic advisor until you declare your major. Once you declare your major, you'll get your advisor within your academic department. And if you double major, you'll get an academic advisor per academic department that you declare within. So they may not be the same person, depending on who your UNV instructor is. If they work in the department that you're going to declare, you may end up with them there. But otherwise, no. When I register for classes in the spring, but I'm a sophomore in credits, will I register with the sophomores? Yes. So when you do register for classes, you'll get an email from the registrar that will give you your registration day and time, and those will line up with based off of where your credits are. Who do I speak with regarding adding a minor? Adding a minor, come chat with our office, Academic and Advising Services. You can also always shoot general emails, advisingservices@mercer.edu or academicservices@mercer.edu, either or. We will connect you with talking about majors and minors. If you're in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, keep in mind that there is the additional depth of understanding requirement, which can be fulfilled by achieving another major or another minor. So keep in mind, start getting those wheels turning about those kinds of things. Will I have the same academic advisor if my double major is in the same department? Potentially. It's up to that advisor's advising load and what that looks like, as well as what the chair determines. But you can always definitely talk to that person and ask them if they're willing to maintain being your academic advisor, and they'll work with the registrar to make sure that in the system they work with you. So, great questions, everyone. Great questions. How will the ARC work during exam week? That's a great question. They generally operate on a larger, they will operate on an extended hours. During exam week this year, I'm not quite sure what's going to look like this semester, but the ARC will be here next first year Friday, and they'll also be here at the end to talk about finals. So they will have more details and they'll talk about that then. What do you personally feel will be the most challenging aspect of being a student here? I think, as everyone has mentioned, the challenge of being on a college campus amid COVID-19, I think could be a definite challenge. You know, you're having to see the Mercer experience through a slightly altered lens for the first semester. So I hope that you will reach out if you have questions. I am here for as a resource to all of you. If you have any questions, sometimes if you just want to talk through what you're looking for, that's also what we're here for. And I know that being away from home is hard, and especially when things are going through, like when things are a little bit tougher, that's what I think can sometimes be difficult. But if you reach out and you get ahead of it, you'll be good to go. Where do I go to find the courses required for a certain major? Excellent question, and I have a prop. Okay, here we go, on my desk. So when you join, when you get into your UNV 101 course, I don't think they've been passed out yet, but they will be passed out soon. You will receive a course catalog, and it'll say 2021 catalog. So every student gets one when they come as a first year student. So this is the programs, the list of programs that you are held to. You got it during the very beginning. Awesome, great. So if you look through it, I'll show an example. Biology is a very easy one to show. On the actual page with your major, it'll have a list. I don't know if you can fully see it. I'm like beauty vloggering it. You've got a list of all of the courses that you need, as well as for the both types of major, BA or BS. Or if they offer a minor, they'll also list the courses required for that minor. And then each class will have a description, including the hours and when it's offered. You'll also be able to see your general education requirements for each college and school there. So keep an eye on those and kind of use it as like a checklist for yourself and mark off things when you have them. And if you brought in transfer credits or AP credits that maybe knock out some gen eds, keep track of those there as well, so you can kind of help yourself plan for what you want to take in your future years. If you need to pick up a catalog, shoot me an email, day_gc@mercer.edu. I'll get you one. Just let me know and we'll get you one. Or ask your PA, and your PA will also work and get you one. Let's see here. Athletics. Joining a sports program with the school, you would need to contact the coaches of that sport and talk to them. I know that depending on the sport and the season, they may already have their rosters set, but you can always talk about potential walk-on opportunities. All right. All right, I'm seeing some questions about, okay, would it be possible to work for admissions in some way? Yeah, so admissions hires, we have quite a few departments on campus that are looking for student work. You can have work study, or some will accept you if you don't have work study. And what you'll do is you'll just go and apply for that job. they will send out information when they're starting to recruit for workers. So, or you can also keep an eye on the Handshake account or talk to the Office of Student Employment through financial aid. Great questions, everyone. This is great. All right. Well, unless anyone has any last minute questions for me, what you'll learn about me with First Year Friday is I don't think I have to keep you until 10:45 if we're done. So I'm going to let you all go and enjoy your weekend. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please use me as a resource, use our office as a resource. We're located in Penfield Annex, so it's across from Tarver, above ROTC. Shoot us an email. We'll do Zoom appointments. We offer pre-health and pre-graduate advising, and we'd love to hang out with you. So give me a call. We're cool. Thank you all so much, and have a great weekend.